Good morning. It's your Karen Wright, your local Wichita real estate agent. Today's take two. I did this yesterday for 30 minutes and looks like my microphone didn't work. So we're doing this again today, and I'm going over the July 2023 market update information. As usual, I do the entire MLS, so all the five-ish counties here. Then I pop over to Sedgwick County, just that it's the largest. As well, do some of those numbers. But today we got a cool thing. Going to start with before jumping into that, and this just shows Forbes ranks Wichita. Saw this about a couple days ago. 12th best. Actually, it's where we are. It's August 9th. So Forbes Wichita ranks Wichita 12th best place in U.S. for young professionals. And so this is according to a report from Forbes. It also found the Wichita metro area to be ranked second for lowest average rent, which affordability is a huge issue as it's been with the appreciation going up and up and up. So it's saying it's a little over $1,000, and ninth lowest in median home prices at $203. Now that's inaccurate, but again, we're going to go through when I go through the entire MLS and the Sedgwick County. We'll see what the median prices are. A little higher in Sedgwick County, of course, and then the biggest part of the city. Closest to downtown and all the activities. So, Wichita, the heart of the country, is overflowing with passionate people of all ages, young professionals. It's a thriving and lively community. That's from the CEO of Visit Wichita, Susan Santos. So, anyway, let's see. Then it kind of goes on to say that roughly 160 miles south, you have Oklahoma City, which was ranked second for young professionals. Again, affordability is the issue, and Kansas, Missouri, 7th, saying average rent prices were $1,200-ish for the 29th lowest amount. But yeah, I think a lot of this is really just has to do with affordability. Obviously, that's something I state in every single one of these. I mean, we've got a lot of people that don't have to be in the big cities coming out here. A lot of people lately I've had moving back from Florida, but technically some of them are from Wichita. I figure it's the humidity out there that's bringing them back here. So, all right, with that, let's check in. So again, here we've got the entire MLS. Let's see what's going. I'll do some quick highlights and then go into the easier to read graphs. So, as typical, it's fallen again. Total home sales in South Central Kansas, that is the MLS we belong to, fell last month to 859 units compared to 979 units in July of 2022. Total sales volume was 219 million. Basically, it's down from a year ago. The median sale price, this is the number I'm always looking for, is 223,750, up from 219. So basically what that's up about $5,000. Homes that sold in July were typically on the market for 5 days, so it is taking longer. It was 4 days last month, as we'll see in a graph here shortly, and sold for 100% of their list prices. Again, we're just short low inventory. We still have those that got the 2 and 3% interest rates that are like, I'm going to live here forever. And so, 5 days. So that's getting longer. Okay, down here, let's talk about active listings. Total number of active listings was up to 1,300-ish units from a little over 1,000 a year ago. So that's great news, and it keeps going in that direction. 1.6 months. We'll see these numbers below in comparison to the last previous months on the nice charts that I show you. Median list price of homes. This up here is what's sold. So and this is what's list price. And it was $295,000. Again, this is the entire MLS, so Sedgwick will be a little bit higher. And written contracts are down. So again, that's just kind of why we keep falling. Fewer houses sold over last year. Again, interest rates playing a nice part in that. Jumping over, let's check here quickly. We're looking at 242 is in Sedgwick County. As you can see, Sedgwick County, and again, just scrolling up here, and this is, as you can see, the entire MLS. So we're looking at 220 for the entire MLS, which includes all the counties, and then the biggest county with the higher price houses because it's closer to downtown, at $242,000. So here you're including like Derby, some Andover spots, Rose Hill, Newton, Viola, stuff like that. So let's continue and check out the charts now. So this again is what we talked about, 979. So it keeps going down. So the home sales are going down, down again as interest rates are going up, up, and listings. Well, technically they're going up now. So look from here, 1,000 to 1,300. And these are new listings showing you just from the prior year, new listings that went active in July. Well, that went down 1,200 to, it went down 13%, but overall listings have gone up. This is just stating what came on board in July. Here we got the month supply. This is great, going in a positive direction, which is kind of funny because some of this, you're like, well, how come we're going down in sales? We got more listings, but again, interest rates, you're paying more for the houses. And of course, we're still in the multiple offer situation in the 200K-ish range, which big cities, of course, are like, what? You can get a house for 200,000? Yeah. I mean, granted, it used to be under 200. So now we're having to say it's over 200 as you can pop down here, check out this. This is the average. I usually go to the sale. And pending contracts is just showing kind of future business. Again, going down, down. Sales volume, and that's just overall, 265, it's going down to 235, going down to 219. So that keeps trajecting downward. All right, here, let's get to the median price of the entire MLS. We're at about 220. Went up to 223, so just only 1.8% increase. But we're seeing the big cities. When I'm looking at all my national numbers, those are going down in price, while we are staying steady, increasing a little bit still. I get that question asked a lot. Well, when's it going to fall out if I bought a house now? And because I have a lot of buyers that are buying a house now and they're going over asking, and it's not as bad as it was a year ago. So in that case, you're going to have to hold on to it for a while, as real estate's typically a buy and hold. Obviously, the last couple of years has been ridiculous with people making 50 grand, 100 grand, over a couple year period type of thing, depending on price point. Everybody basically went up to a degree, but some good numbers over the last couple of years. Again, that's not normal. It's usually like hold for 10 years. That's why I always say buying a house isn't for everybody. If you want to if you're planning on jumping out to another city, state, not wanting quite to be settled, renting is better. If you're looking at, hey, I'm going to be here for a while, or you're going to rent it out after, or something like that, then buying is good because it's basically your bank account. It's basically, increasing in equity, as long as you hold it, typically 10 years, maybe 5 years. Again, market changes, dictates that, of course, and we never know the outcome. But I do get asked that a lot right now, like, well, is it going to go bad? I go, well, we're still trajecting to go. Interest rates are planning on going down a little bit more last year. And the 2s and 3s, my gut feeling is that for interest rates, at some point they're still going to need to move. They're still going to want to move. And at some point they're just like, they're just tired of that house. They want to change. Probably won't see those numbers. If again, but again, they are predicting next year for here maybe be in the mid 5s again. So not quite yet. We've seen the up and down, up and down. They're not looking pretty good right now. I think in the 6s something. And just so you know, always, you've got conventionals higher than FHA and VA. I'll see the conventional. Last I saw, they might have all been in the 6s. And again, this is lender by lender. A lot of lenders send us samples. And then you can't always read it apples to apples because sometimes it includes discount points and stuff like that. So not the easiest thing. So sale price went basically from 219 up to 223. And list price of the active houses went higher as well, up 9%. Not as much as from last year, 218 to 269. Now that last year was ridiculous. Went up 23%. I just showed a house the other day, gorgeous house over in the 67212, I think, area code, so West Side. And really updated. They just finished the basement, but they bought that about 11 years ago for like 133, and it's at 295. Don't get me wrong, they put some nice stuff into it. They finished the basement, put a really nice patio in the back, updated the cabinet, so put some money into it. But yeah, 133 to almost $300,000. That's just showing you what I see. But it was nicely updated, not ridiculously updated, but nicely updated. Days on the market are increasing, so that's kind of interesting. Again, with the interest rates, we've seen discussions internally where people are asking, "Hey, are you seeing a decrease in buyers and stuff like that?" That's some of the conversations, and it would make sense. Again, the 2 and 3% are sitting for many years, most likely, and then interest rates are just keep going up. I know Lawrence Young, the National Association of Realtors economist, a senior economist that does all of our forecasting and our updates from the real estate nationwide numbers and projecting forecasts and stuff. He did think the last two Fed rate hikes were unnecessary. I'm going to do that video soon. We just got that this week. As far as the updated forecast, which they typically do about this time every year, where we're in August, and kind of do, hey, here's where we're at, here's kind of the recap, here's our forecast type of thing. So yeah, that's a little bit answer to your question. Why four? The question you didn't ask. why it's going from 4 to 5 days on the market. Percentage of list price. I mean, everything's still selling at list price or higher. I get that question a lot too. And at the end, you're always like, well, it's case by case. And then each house you need to look at thoroughly. You need to look at the data, look at what's been upgraded. I get asked these general questions and I'm like going, well, I need to look deeper into stuff. I can give you ballparks, but it may not be toward your particular house. All right, continuing on. Closed listings for July. We are down from 979 to 850, so it looks like a down of 12%. Volume, we've talked about that. Again, just looking at some of the same numbers, but this again is closed listings compared to down the road in this chart. We look at active listings, and then later down in the report, we're talking about pending. Pending is always looking out at future. So kind of just showing you these numbers year to date. So this is kind of cool over here. I guess I don't really talk about this one as much, but this is full year to date, where this is just year over year from July of last year to that. This is year to date. So 2022 up to then had their 6,300 closed listings. I ballpark numbers in case you haven't noticed while I'm saying this. 5,400-ish this year, so minus 14% change. Just let me kind of look at that chart here for a second. History of closed listings, obviously we know that they were going down over here. Listings are kind of trickling up a little bit. Closed listings by month. So let's check this out. Make this little so you can see the title. Yeah, and this is where I really love seeing these charts, because again, you're not only looking at year over year, like the very first slide when I talk about that's like one number, but here you're seeing, because I like to look to see, hey, how's it compared to previous year and each month? But the last month, the month before that, so this gives you a month by month, year by year for the last 3 years. So we're looking at about 2.5 years right now. So closed listings, and this is the entire MLS, a little over 500 in January, February, March, over 800. Then it went back down a little bit in April. And again, these fluctuations could be interest rates. I can't remember exactly what was going on there. I do remember the November and December with interest rates going to 7. We're we're seeing this fluctuations in interest rates right now. So then it peaked over 1,000 again, being that it's midsummer, which is obviously a big time for real estate, but really jumped down here in July. I mean, we keep seeing it's the last many, many months. I know I've been saying that sales have fallen. But that, when you're looking at that number, that's kind of a big number, although 922 from 1,036. And here you can see why it's fallen. Let's see, 700 from 900. Not too much here, but yeah, every single month has been lower than last year. No wonder I've been saying that for a while. And then over here, compared to the appreciation charts where the blue is always on the top, we're seeing that 2021, a lot of houses sold there, a lot more. And then green was last year, and then the blue is this year. So yeah, just fewer houses. So yeah, when we get said, hey, yeah, more realtors are coming in the market, it's like, okay, but there's fewer houses to sell, so it's a bit tougher compared to like, especially like I know 17, 18, 19, with just the crazy years. 2020 rebounded really great too for COVID for the second half of the year. A lot of agents had some great years in that, and then of course here we're seeing 21, 22, and 23. Here's closed listings by price range. So what closed? So look, we had $9 million houses close, with the median price being $1.5 million. And then I also look at that. I look at that for fun. And then I look at this, just where's the bulk of our business, and it's like, between 200 and 500,000. This is a big 2 to 250. I mean, that's just multiple offers. And Lawrence Yun had talked about in the seminar this past week that there's about a quarter, so 25% are cash offers. Again, that's from a national perspective. I still am seeing, good amount of cash offer. I have all my closings this week, next week. The next couple are all cash offers. So, but again, then other times I see some houses which don't have a cash offer in a 200K range. These couple, happen to be a little bit more on the outskirts, and there wasn't another offer on that one. It'd been on the market a little bit, and then the other one's a new build at a higher price point. So just within the next couple of days, those being cash offers. But again, about 25% they're saying are cash offers. So that's kind of a big amount. I don't think I've heard what it is exactly in Wichita. I don't know if, because I know WSU, when I looked to see who's pulling all this data, you got prepared on 8/7 by the WSU Center for Real Estate. And we usually go in October, November when they do their presentation to us. And this is, again, for our South Central Kansas real estate. But yeah, I don't, I think that number will come out about that. I think it's October when the WSU gives us the presentation. I know I'd gone in person last year, so I can come back and do a video on all that data. But yeah, from a national perspective, 25% are cash buyers, which of course, makes it a little tougher for people in the 200K range, looking, trying to get a house on a multiple offer house, or you just pick a house that's not getting a multiple offer, has been on the market 1 or 2 weeks. Again, that could be just a not desirable layout from it, just needs a lot of work. People typically obviously need to move into a house right away. They have families if they're selling a house. And so, that's why the flippers are, we should be pretty grateful for, or I am, because people have their lives to live. They're not, professional flippers. A lot of people don't want to take the time but they want to move into a nice, pretty house. Even, like I said, I always love those grandma houses, I call them, the older but well-maintained. It's just kind of more cosmetic. But they've taken really good care of it. So it's just a matter of somebody coming in and flooring paint, if they have the time even for that. But that's why the multiple offers are on those ones, because most people don't have that. But then right now, of course, since there is enough cash purchases, they tend to get it, not always. If they put too low ball of an offer and won't go up, the sellers will choose a lender mortgage-based buyer. So, but again, yeah, right there, 16 to 17%. And granted, this is a $50,000 row. This is another $50,000 row. This is a $100,000 row. So keep that in mind. But 200 to 400 is the bulk of our, with the median, of course, being in this section here between 200 and 250, because 223,000 is entire MLS and 245,000 is Sedgwick County median sold price. So continuing on, average, let's go down to the median. This is the one that's a better reflection of numbers. So here we are, we're seeing that 223 from 219 a year ago, from 200. So if you look at 2 years, you're looking at already it's still increasing, because a lot of people were saying that it was going to decrease. And again, the big cities, you are seeing a decrease in price. Again, for all my buyers and the people out there that are asking, what's going on in the market, or is it dropped out? And then of course the clickbait, the negative YouTube channels, or the negative press out there. Oh, we're in a recession. They all like to put those like worrisome, and they do get good. They do get good views actually. But yeah, so these are the numbers right behind, what's going on here in Wichita, in the entire MLS. So including Sumner County, Butler County. I didn't think yesterday when I had done this my first time, I actually showed you all the counties over there: Sumner, Butler, Harvey, and one or two others. So, and then looking at 188 for June to 235, that's a huge increase. And I think I saw one of 40%. I'll have to pull those numbers for the next time I do this, just more of like, San Francisco, LA, and then the East Coast as well, just to kind of do some comparisons. I'm trying to get a little bit better about doing some comparisons with some national numbers, just in the numbers that I feel that you would care about, such as median price. I know I gave in the last one, I had some documents right around that I was giving, but I even saw a number recently. I posted it in one of my TikTok or Instagram, where it was showing a national average of 414,000. I was thinking, but again, every time I look at a different statistic on a different page, I see something different. And of course, it could be a different month, a different time frame, this, that, or the other. But all I know is I can give you Wichita. And again, every month this comes out, I do an updated one, and these are the charts that you really want to see. And then this picture, I'll sometimes even do a little like a screenshot and green screen and do it on TikTok, so you can just literally see me talking, and then this is in the background, versus a 30-minute video. All right, let's continue on. Average days on market. Again, we're talking closed listings, what's closed already. And this is the number we typically look at, median days on market. So as you can see, it's increasing 3, 4, 5. I just think, interest rates, buyers are sitting out for a minute, comparison to last year. Because again, this is the month still that every year buyers are still going back to school, taking care of the families. But regardless, the same time every year. That's what's so great about looking at year over year. If you're looking at the same time frame, the same weather, the same, again, we consider this, hey, people are kind of wrapping up buying, and it's because they're going back to school this year. But it's increasing. And let me just turn the phone volume off. Okay. So, and until interest rates come down a little bit, and the one thing I always like to say though, typically through the end of the year, we do see some good sales. It's usually January and February where it kind of stops a little bit because it's so cold. And half the time when I'm showing houses, I'm showing them in vacant homes. So I'm freezing. Thank goodness for seat warmers. Jackets, yes, but seat warmers, because you're freezing by the time you get back in your car. So, and then of course, just shows days on market though does increase as we go toward the end of the year, but houses still sell. Okay. Active listings. So now we're going into active listings. We're passing the close. Active listings, here's the great news that we're up 22% from end of July last year, 1,082 to 1,321. We're at 1.1 supply last year to a 1.6. So almost 50% increase. And then 269, the list price keeps increasing. We're about a 10%, 9.7% increase in list price. And days on market, 19, 100%. Okay. History of active listings, we know this has been the typical. It's going down, increasing a little bit. Thank goodness. We still want to keep increasing. Come on, builders. Just the only thing we're concerned with is just make sure you're not going so fast. Build quality homes. Active listings by month. So yeah, this is going in the right direction. Look at how little there were the last couple of years. That's why the intense multiple offers last year was just crazy. It was very difficult to get a home last year. You just couldn't compete on those nice homes. There were so few. Look at that in the 600s. So at least you're saying this year we're over 1,000. Looks like July of last year we started hitting over 1,000. And then this year, look, we're even getting up to 1,200 to 1,300. We haven't seen that since, oh my goodness, since before we're even 2021. So thank goodness, because this was not fun for buyers. Oh, it's great when you got the listings. Because you're like, and it's a little tough too, because you're getting like 18, 20 offers. So it makes your work a lot harder. So that's kind of, so at least listings are coming back is that's what that chart pretty much shows. And this is just active listings. So these are all the listings that are actually active right now. It's not the pending ones. It's not the ones that sold. And you can see we got a good chunk between 300,000 and 400,000, probably, new builds in that category. The new builds are kind of starting off. I think 250 is really, you used to almost get it around the 200 mark, but now just kind of consider 250. Not saying you can't get it maybe a smidge under there, but we're talking overall. So if you're looking for new builds, but yeah, so that these numbers would continue with some new builds or include new builds. That's what I'm trying to say. But again, the chunk of it, and then we've got 32 active in case you are in the $1 million price point. 32 active in that. Average, but 1.5 million is the median price on that. Again, that's just fun. Active listings, let's look at the median price. So this is all active listings. And that keeps increasing. Oh, went down a little bit here. Maybe because the buyers are holding off a little bit, not seeing as many buyers. I'm going to guess something like that, since we saw the days on market are taking longer. So they're like price reductions. I saw a bunch of those yesterday, just when I happened to be looking, a bunch of price reductions. Again, price reductions make sense a little bit with the interest rates being at the higher and the buyers kind of stopping a little bit, pulling back a little bit, as well as people keep pricing their house a little too out of control. But your agent will pull the comparables in the area. They'll tell you about the market, hopefully, if they follow the market, to kind of give you that, here's what's happening in the market, here's how it's going to affect your sale, here's the comparables. But the comparables also follow the market. Like right now with the interest rates up, even though it's showing maybe some nice numbers here, you got to keep in mind, well, hold on, interest rates are a little higher. Buyers are, you're not going to want to price it at the most aggressive, unless you want to sit on the market a little bit. And then if it sits too long, then you're chasing the market. But again, your agent is following it, seeing what's happening in the neighborhood with the comparable properties, and will list accordingly. So yeah, here we got median, though. These are all the active list. I always have to go back to the title. Active listings, all active listings, sale and resale, or new builds and resale. And of course, like I said, on this one, the blue number for this year is always higher because the price keeps growing here. It's going to be interesting to see next year. Is it going to kind of stabilize, kind of be at zero versus the constant increase we keep seeing? Well, let's see. Active listings. So you're seeing that 19 is growing in May and June, down a little bit. And they kind of stay all fairly close together. Looks like it took a little bit longer during these months than the other previous years. Again, possibly from fewer buyers with the interest rates. Yeah, they went a little faster last year. Again, inventory's lower. Inventory is increasing right now. So, but that's interesting. Look at this one here. It's right in line with the July. Completely in line with the other 2 years. So those are days on market. So it's just saying that from a median days on market, plan your house to be, again, it's location specific, it's price dependent. If it's a higher price point, potentially can be on the market longer, unless it's one of those perfect ones that everybody wants. I mean, you still see ones go really, really fast. And if it's in the 200K range, it's going in 3 to 4, or technically 5 days right now, like I said earlier. entire month supply. So this is great. Look at that. 1.6. We're getting a lot more inventory. And hopefully that goes up and up and up and up. But yeah, going in the right direction so we can get back to a balanced market. And check this out. Yeah, the blue is kind of where the pricing is. It's above, so they're definitely working on increasing inventory. And so if you're looking to sell, we still need houses out there until it gets to the point where it's a balanced market. If you do want to sell, it's still a good time while we still have some lower inventory issues. And that's just what I'm saying. It's going up because we need it back up. We needed to be like and they were thinking like our broker was saying this in one of our meetings recently, that 4 months is more considered a balanced market. I'm just repeating what he's saying. I'm not saying I've thought through it that much. But if you're even considering selling or want to, you're still going to get the best bang for your buck right now with the low inventory and the buyers buying outside of the, yes, interest rates are a little bit higher now, but the low inventory is still there regardless. And buyers are still, we still have plenty of buyers looking. Okay, so entire MLS new listings. So this is talking about new listings. We just passed the all listings. This is new listings that came on board in July. So a total of over 1,1074 new listings were added during July, which is down 13%. So the new listings are down. The overall listings are up, but the new listings that came on July. So last year's July brought in more listings. Looks like about 200 more listings than we have right now. That's a lot. Median list price of those homes. Let's go check that out. Of the ones, and these are the ones that came on in July, went from 210 a year ago, and they're at 225. Again, just the increase of pricing. Not the same in the big markets, as I've said. You're going to see this go way down in San Francisco. History of new listings. So yeah, look, we're taking a downward trend of new listings, specifically. Well, this would be July's right here. So somehow that doesn't look good. But overall listings look good. New listings by month. So, yeah, like I said, we're down here. We were down a little bit last month. As far as new listings during those particular months. Down in April. So I'm almost thinking then, if things are on the market, is it the really high dollar ones that are keeping the active listings on the market? Is it the new like $600,000 houses that are staying on the market that are keeping the active listings with the numbers up? Where these ones, because this one's saying they're bringing less than last year new listings every single month, except for January. There was more new listings in January than last year, where after that, February had fewer new listings in February than last year, and same for every other month. So that kind of tells me that the 200K range and the more affordable ranges go fast, where the ones either that aren't priced right or like the new builds that are in the high price are staying on the market to keep that active listing number. So yeah, lots of different data points to look at. A lot of these way beyond what you even want to know. Again, here we go, 15%. There's our 200 to 400,000. Looks like we got 10 new listings. I think I've seen a couple new builds. I think Castaway, the $1 million and 1.7s. Not that they're all new builds, but a couple new builds in the Castaway over on West Side by Edgewater. One of those went from 2.1 million, I think, down to 1.7 million. But yeah, 10 new listings in the $1 million range. Again, it's fun to look at that. I'm from San Diego, so yeah, they have all those beach properties. So that's a 10 million range, La Jolla properties. Okay, here's let's go down. These are new listings. The median price point for new listings that came on 235 compared to last July was in the 215 range for the new listings that came on the market. 230 in June. Looks like 215 was still the same last year in June. But yeah, just again, this just shows us that it keeps increasing here in Wichita, Kansas, and yet still super affordable. Look at this, 167. Oh, the days. So yeah, they 67, 77, 87, 90. So they like a 30K ish increase just in 2 years. I mean, just the equity that was. So in case you're ever thinking of it, I know several people know this, but renting is, paying somebody else's mortgage off. Buying a house, you're building equity, you're building your little savings account with doing nothing. So if you are planning on staying in the same area for 5-10 years, I just can't look at anything different except that buying a house is the best investment. But it's more of the people in their 20s, I guess, won't know that, and others that don't really follow real estate. But so contracts written just kind of, we always talk about more so for future business. And as you can see, it's down. There was 927 written a year ago, 867 down 6.8%. But of course, same story. Days on market are increasing as we're seeing. And then the sale price has definitely increased. That's, over $20,000 of just the contracts that were written. And you can see days on market again down here, median 4 to 6, but still stating at 100% of sales price. So things are going in as listing. I got this question on recently with a new build, and typically what we've seen new builds is that they're not really negotiating. I've been told that from other agents, brokers, for years. But yeah, I'll admit, my seller's like, definitely wanted to negotiate. It's like, no, here's what I'm doing. And so, yeah, we went in and we did get it a lot lower. So that's not always the case. So what they say and what can be done might be two different things. So that's good to know. And it was a house that's a little bit higher price point, so it could be sitting further. And there's a bunch of other new builds that they had to sell. So, it took a little negotiating for sure and some going back and forth. But yeah, I came in a decent amount under. So when I'm doing these market analysis, I definitely try to give you what I'm seeing in the, boots on the ground, so to speak, with the different experiences I have from sales meetings, from different, National Association Realtor videos I watch, because I try to follow and pay attention to, even though the numbers are all over the place, but I try to do more of like that generic nutshell it down, bring it down, or throw in examples. That's really what I try to do throughout this, so it's not super boring, and it really gives you more of a sense of what's happening here in Wichita. And that's about a good amount. Let's pop over to, we kind of went through the main stuff. So again, just popping over to the Sedgwick County, since these numbers will be higher from the price points, since the majority of people want to live in the bulk of the city. Outside of Andover is a little bit out. That's a different county over there. But so yeah, 242 up 3%. Median price for Sedgwick County. We're still down 15%. Yeah, what's amazing is how much down we are from last month. We were down 7%, so to speak, on both Sedgwick and the full MLS. And this month, we're down a lot more. I'm going to throw that at probably interest rates. Active listings are up 25% to 900. Month supply is up 50% to 1.5. That's awesome. New listings are down 13%. Contracts written are down 8%. Sales volume, we've seen that just keeps going down every month. But of course, median sale price up. Days on market up 30-ish%. So hopefully that gives you a good idea. So anyway, there you have it. A couple things. That was the entire MLS right here. We have the Sedgwick County, and the cool thing that this Forbes ranks Wichita as the 12th best place in the U.S. for young professionals, and probably just because of affordability, which is a part that I love compared to when I lived in Seattle, San Diego, Irvine, California. So anyways, reach out if you have any questions. Give me a holler if you're looking to list, buy a house, want some more data, information. I'm here at the office, as you can see. I'm usually here in the morning, so reach out, or I can come over to your house and meet with you as well. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.